at. Now it's time for today's Asia Live. We're going to be talking to our correspondent Taha Siddiqui in Islamabad shortly. First, though, to his report and a situation that is paralysing part of Pakistan. Now, American drone strikes, mainly in the country's tribal belt, have led to the country's politicians turning against the US. Now, Pakistanis are being urged by some to retaliate against the drone attacks by paralysing US and NATO supply routes. The US has now been forced in the last 24 hours to suspend shipments as men armed with clubs forcibly search some lorries. Well, France 24's Taha Siddiqui has been to the port city of Karachi to see how that blockade is affecting the country's own economy as well.
For the last 10 days, hundreds of transport trucks have been stuck in the port city of Karachi. Private transporters carrying supplies for NATO troops in Afghanistan have been facing fierce protests organized by Pakistan's religious and right-wing political parties. Unsure about when the blockade will end, many drivers are sitting idle, like Amina, who has just returned from Afghanistan.
I just unloaded my cargo at the port and now I'm waiting for the next trip.
The road to Afghanistan is dangerous and Amina is not sure he wants to continue driving trucks. It's not just the Taliban that he's scared of. When the anti-NATO protests first began, drivers on their way to Afghanistan were attacked by members of the cricketer-turned-politician Imran Khan's political party. Khan was the first one to call for these protests.
Throughout the trip, I keep thinking about my death. I'm scared that I might get burnt alive or shot. I often wonder whether my parents would see my dead body, but I do this to earn money, you know?
Over 500 trucks passed through the port of Karachi, carrying food and equipment for 80,000 foreign soldiers still in Afghanistan. But it's not just the NATO supply route that is being disrupted. Traders from Afghanistan and Pakistan also use the same road.
When these things happen very often, then Afghans would definitely see that they have got another venue. Already they are diverting their imports through Iran. That is a permanent loss to Pakistan, Pakistan's economy, and most importantly, the poor people of Pakistan.
Even though the blockade is hurting Pakistan's economy, the protests are slowly spreading across the country. Last Sunday, members of banned militant organizations came out on roads in support of Imran Khan. Even though the blockade is illegal and hurting Pakistan's image internationally, the central government, an ally in the war on terror, seems helpless as it is being held hostage by the use of street power.
Well, Taha Siddiqui joins us now from Islamabad. Taha, since you filmed that report, in fact, in the last 12 hours, really, those supply routes being suspended now by the US, what's that going to mean?
Well, the reports that we're getting from Washington is the fact that the Pentagon has ordered that the supplies from Afghanistan to Pakistan through the road route that goes through Pakistan should be halted. This we've already seen happening in 2011 when the Pakistani government officially blocked the NATO supply. At that time, what they did was that then the US and the NATO forces used the alternate route. The alternate route goes through Central Asia into Afghanistan, which is a more expensive land route that was developed back in 2011 and lasted on for a few months. The Pentagon has cited that it is because of the concerns of the drivers and the private contractors because they're getting attacked, as you saw in the report, because of which they are transferring to the other routes. But we also do know that it is also because of the fact that they have no choice, that they have to go for this alternate route through Central Asia. Now this route will cost more, and also at the same time they will not be able to supply everything from through that route as we saw earlier. Another option that is being discussed over here is the fact that they could also go through Iran if the relationship with Iran, as we're seeing that US and Iran relationships are improving, that could have happened also. So the NATO does have alternate routes right now.
So, Taha, how big is this anti-NATO blockade, and how much actual support is there, would you say, within Pakistan for it?
Well, as far as the street power is concerned, there's a lot of support from different political parties, especially the right-wing, conservative, religious right-wing parties. Even the extremists, as you saw, came out on the weekend to protest against this NATO supply route. But at the same time, the central government is an ally in the war on terror and also depends a lot on U.S. military assistance. So at the same time, it's in a fix. It has to decide between going with its local support of the public sentiment or going with international relationship. So it's right now it's between a deep sea and a sort of on the other side of the danger also. So they're trying to see which one is better, and because of which we might see that as of yet there might not be a solution for the Pakistani government to offer to the Americans.
Taha, thanks very much. Taha Siddiqui joining us from Islamabad. Sorry about the sound there at the end of Taha's report. That was today's Asia Live. Well, that's all for me for this edition. I'll have another one, of course, in an hour's time. Shona's going to be here with the next hour, though. She'll talk shortly to Shannon Van Sant, in fact, our correspondent in Beijing. As you can see, Joe Biden, the US Vice President, has arrived there for talks. She'll be talking to Shannon in the next news after the break.